This tournament had a unique format with group matches for every stage. But the last game was still the deciding one, and Brazil reached it needing only a draw to win the cup. It was a game no one who was there would ever forget.
The game would start at 3 p.m. We got there at the stadium at 10 in the morning. But the time went by because the whole stadium, after 1 hour or so, was full. And there was this festivity thing. Everybody told this 11-year-old boy, the newspapers, the radios, my family, the friends, the guy who came to my house to sell milk, Brazil is already the world champion.
There's a newspaper, an early edition of O Mundo, came out in the morning with a picture of the world champions. There's this feeling that, of course, they were going to win. They'd never even considered that they wouldn't win.
They'd never played a game as important as this, but their opponents, neighbours and rivals Uruguay had. Uruguay had already won the World Cup once, when they hosted the first ever tournament in 1930. The World Cup was the brainchild of Frenchman Jules Rimet. He created it as a competition for football away from the Olympics, to build the popularity of the game and reap its own financial reward. Uruguay's win on home turf was a feat Brazil were now hoping to emulate. As kick-off approached in the 1950 final, Brazilian striker Friaça shared the team's optimism.
I got up normally in the morning. I was happy, calm, full of optimism.
With doves flapping above the packed Maracanã, Brazil's date with destiny finally got underway. But it wasn't until the second half that the moment Brazilians had been expecting came.
I received the ball more or less on the halfway line. Zizinho passed to me, and I went past their right winger and centre half. I came into the box and I shot. There were 3 sports journalists, and they came straight over and jumped on top of me and almost suffocated me.
The crowd went wild. Everyone was already celebrating the victory. People were throwing confetti, ribbons, shouting, "Brazil, champions!"
We forgot something very important. This Uruguayan team was excellent, and our team wasn't as excellent as we thought.
In the 66th minute, Uruguay turned the game on its head.
Gigia, the Uruguayan right winger, did a little dribble around Bigode, who slipped as he tried to get the ball. He got to the touchline and crossed.
It was right there. I was on the second row, and I saw the ball right in front of me. It was a shock. But we're still champions.
Brazil was still going to win at 1-0. They only needed a draw to win because of the unique way that the finals were organised. But then with 12 minutes to go, Gigia again runs up the right-hand side of the pitch.
I was commentating and all was normal. Gigia dribbles past Bigode, who tries to tackle him, just like the first goal. Gigia continues. The game is repeating itself. He goes to the end of the pitch, shoots.
Goal!
Goal to Uruguay! And then...
Goal to Uruguay?
Goal to Uruguay?
Goal to Uruguay?
Goal to Uruguay?
Goal to Uruguay, senhor.
Goal to Uruguay, ladies and gentlemen. Because I sensed there and then that Brazil were losing the World Cup.
It was a goal that stopped the hearts of all Brazilians and threatened the hopes of a nation. The Maracanã, built to announce Brazil's international aspirations to the world, fell eerily silent.
The fans should have screamed, shouted. The whole stadium was absolutely quiet.
The game ended, and I just sat there. Two friends were sitting with me, and they said, "We're never going to win the World Cup."
We never thought we were going to lose to Uruguay, but we did. They scored 2 goals, we only scored 1.
For days, the city of Rio de Janeiro was silent. You'd hear the honking of the horns of the buses, but you wouldn't hear any voices. People were sad.
The loss led to a search for scapegoats for what was seen as a national tragedy.
In the recriminations after the game, it wasn't Uruguay's fault for being a better team, it was somehow Brazil's fault for not really having the moral fibre for winning, for failing at the final hurdle. As if maybe this is something that's natural to Brazilians, to sort of fail at the final hurdle.
It was the black players who took the blame. They were accused of not having had enough commitment to the match because they weren't patriotic enough. Among those singled out for criticism was the goalkeeper, Barbosa.
Barbosa was really marked by that defeat. He suffered a lot, but it wasn't his fault.
But Barbosa's international career was over. He later worked as an administrator at the Maracanã Stadium. Brazil had lost the one thing they thought could make their country great, and losing it only made them want it more.
In 1950, we became obsessed by the idea that Brazil would only become a great country on the day that it won the World Cup.